to get you to your next class. We'll get this kicked off right now. So I am very happy to introduce Curtis from Discovery Benefits, and this will be very interesting to learn about this company and what they all do and some opportunities for you. So thank you.
Cool. Thank you very much, Deb. Hey guys, how you doing? Hi, people in Handshake World. I'm just assuming there's millions of people watching right now. In my head, that's what it is. So I'll present to that. But thanks for having me, coming down here and letting me talk a little bit more about our company. So my name is Curtis Karn. I am the talent sourcer at Discovery Benefits, or talent sorcerer, whatever you want to call me. I do have a staff, a hat, and a beard at work by my desk, just because, I mean, why would you not on that side when you have that kind of a title? And what we'll do today is just talk a little bit about our organization, who Discovery Benefits is, what we do, opportunities that we may have for new jobs and things of that nature for you guys as you guys are looking through school and coming to graduate. So first things I like to do when I start presenting is show you, number one, I'm a person. I'm a real person. I'm not just some guy who works at a company. I have a life outside of this on that side. So I like to show pictures of my family. So this is my family. I have two kids, Kingston and Kendricks. Kingston is 7. This is him here, and he's a handful. And then my daughter, Kendricks, is just turned 2. My wife, Katie. We have a couple wiener dogs. And this is my favorite picture of my daughter because she's giving me the stank eye because I had taken her ice cream at Dairy Queen. She replicates that stank eye every time she is angry with me, which is really great. And the other thing that I learned right off the bat was when you're speaking to people, bribe them. So I got you guys some Rubik's Cubes here that you guys can check out. On that side, he already got one, but I'll hand these out as we're going. Got 2 more. I'll come get you guys on the other side. This is just something to keep your hands busy in case I get super boring as I'm talking about different things, so you guys can stay engaged a little bit across the board. 2 more. Oh, one. Coming up top. There we go. Oh, you need another one? You good? We'll get it. I'm just throwing them at you guys at this point. But what we're going to do here today is go a little bit, talk a little bit about my organization, Discovery Benefits, who we are, what we do. We're one of those organizations where we're kind of this niche company within, I didn't need to throw it from that close, did I? There we go. On that side, this niche company within kind of a different realm that you guys may not know about just because we deal in benefit administration. And you guys as students, maybe you haven't done benefits or you're still on your parents' benefits. And it's one of those things where I joke we're a quiet 900-person company in Fargo and Brookings that did $100 million in revenue last year that nobody knows about because we are so niche. So we're going to go over a little bit about the company, who we are, what we do, and then what I'm going to do is walk through our culture book today so you guys can learn a little bit more about the things that we do within our organization. So Discovery Benefits, who are we? What do we do? First and foremost, what we are as an organization is we are a third-party administrator for insurance benefits. Good, y'all got it? Cool, I'm done here. No, so what that means is companies, when you guys get your first job, you're going to get some sort of benefit package from that company, probably. This may entail medical, dental, vision, 401k, things like that. Well, when you have your medical benefits, typically they'll allow you some other options or add-on products, they call them, health savings accounts, flexible spending accounts, things that you can put money into tax-free to help pay for medical expenses. And typically your parents will get a card for a health savings account or a card for your flexible spending accounts. And basically it's great because you can put money in there that the government can't tax to be able to pay for medical expenses, which is cool. We also deal in what's called Cobra Insurance. And what that is insurance when you leave a job or move to another job. It's something that you can extend through your current employer that you pay for as an individual to be able to keep that insurance. Well, HSAs, health savings accounts, flexible spending accounts, tax-free, right? So IRS is in there. Cobra Insurance, which is given after you leave a job, so Labor Commission is in there. So you have government entities within these products, so highly regulated, lots of information, kind of difficult to understand. And most companies just don't have the time, people, or knowledge to really be able to handle those, so they hire us to do it. So we're really the experts in that benefits administration world to be able to take care of it for other companies. So companies like BMW, IKEA, Conan O'Brien Show, Hulu, Twitter, hire us to basically run those things for their employees. So if you're an employee at Hulu and you have a question on your health savings account or a concern, you can reach out to us to be able to get the answers that you need so that you don't have to go to your human resources department because they probably don't know much about that anyway. So we're this really specific niche within the benefits world, which is kind of weird because you don't really think about it, and then we explain it and you're like, oh, it makes a ton of sense. You guys are just experts in what you do, so other companies hire you to keep doing that. So that's where we kind of fit. Any questions on that? I know it's kind of a foreign concept. Yes?
You specifically deal with these sort of these extra add-on benefits?
Yes.
Specifically like these non-taxable?
Yep, health savings accounts, flexible spending accounts. Yep. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's exactly what we do. We work with those types of products and benefits for other companies. As you get into your new job and when you get offered that benefit package, you will see it's very overwhelming to have to deal with a lot of these things, not only as a new employee, but people who have been in the working world for years. And most of the time people don't understand them or have any concept of them because typically you don't use them until you need them, right? That's kind of how insurance goes. And so once they jump in on it, they get really confused or concerned on how they're supposed to do it. And again, being in those regulations with IRS and with the Labor Commission, there's a lot of things that go through on that side. So a little bit about our company. So we were founded in 1987. We're 30 years strong here on that side. Again, we have locations in Fargo, North Dakota, and then Brookings, South Dakota. We're the top, one of the top 4 third-party administrators in the United States, and we keep growing. I started the company about 7 years ago, and when I first started, we were about 200 people. We're currently knocking on 900 as an organization. And if you go back in our financials to 2012, basically every 3 years, we double in size and revenue. And as you get bigger, it's crazy. You look 3 years ago in our financials, we were a $50 million company. This last year, we hit $100 million. As you get bigger, it's tough to keep replicating that as an organization. So I'm not going to guarantee that we're going to double again in the next 3 years, but we keep growing on that side, which is really, really cool to be able to be a part of that. A big part of that is a 98% client retention rate. We had a huge year for renewals within our organization. We hit about a $15 million new sales goal, and the rest of that is renewals within the company. And that has to do with our service, our people, the people behind the scenes, the knowledge that they have, and things on that side. Again, we work with clients in all 50 states. We're not international. We do work with some international companies like BMW and IKEA, but we're just within the United States with their employees. Organic managed growth. That's one of these things where we've grown substantially, obviously, in the last 5, 6, 7 years. Most companies, to grow as fast as we do in our industry, have to buy another company. They basically buy that company's book of business to be able to take that on, to be able to continue to grow. We have done that on our own. So it's been a really exciting time within the organization in the last couple of years as we keep growing. These are some of the things that I talked about that we go through: HSA, FSA, Cobra. HRA is a health reimbursement account, and then transit or commuter. These are some things that are kind of interesting. Like if you live in a larger city that has like a subway system or an L train like Chicago or New York, you can get commuter benefits through your employer, again, tax-free, to be able to help pay for that. So it's kind of cool, some of the things that we do. Again, these are some of our clients with BMW, Conan, Lego, IKEA. On that side, locally in Fargo, we work with a lot of universities across the United States. I believe Dakota State has us, as I was talking with Janelle a little bit earlier here too, and DSU and some other things too. So you can see some fairly large clients within the United States on that side. We like to brag about our culture. So this is actually, we just got the new one. So we've been voted best places to work in insurance for the last 9 years. We just won 2018 as well. And this award for us is really important, as well as we've been on the Inc. 5000 fastest growing companies for the last 5 years. But the best places to work is really important to me, and I think to the organization, because there's a lot of places that they'll just like give you an award if you pay for it, kind of a thing. It's like, hey, you want to be a best places to work? Give us $500, we'll send you a statue or something like that. Well, this one for us is great because I know the process that it goes through. So what this company does is they give us basically like an application sheet. So we have to give them a lot of data and a lot of information. We present that to them. If we pass that first round, then what they do is they randomly poll our employees. So we give them an entire email list, and we don't know who's getting it. within the organization. It could be C-suite, CEO, CFO, whatever, managers, supervisors, or just people who started a week earlier within the company. And it continually comes back with results, and we continually win it. And so this award to me is really, really impressive in the fact that we know that it pulls random people. It's not buffered or bumped up to be able to hit those stats. So I'm really proud of those. So what I thought I would do is just kind of go through our culture book a little bit so you guys can learn a little bit more about who we are and what we do as an organization. This might be tough to read up here on that side, and I apologize for that. I have a few of these. But Discovery Benefits as a company, we're really proud of our culture. And I think that's why we continually win those Best Places to Work awards, because you can work anywhere, right? And especially you guys have a great opportunity right now with the labor market, right? So I don't know if you guys, unemployment in North Dakota is below 2%. Similar in South Dakota, I think it's like 2.2 or something like that. And in the North Dakota side, we have currently about 15,000 job openings in North Dakota across the board. And that's everything from IT entry level to just basic customer service side. South Dakota, I know, has very similar statistics on that side. And in North Dakota, there's going to be close to 4,000 or 4,400 open jobs by 2020. It says 1,500 or 50, things of that nature, like the numbers. I think they're actually higher because these are reported through Job Service of North Dakota. Not all companies post on Job Service, so I think they're going to be a lot higher. So you guys are at a great advantage right now to be able to kind of narrow down where you guys want to work on that side. And so learning about a company, knowing about their core values, knowing about the things that they have, you guys can hopefully relate to them to be able to be like, that's kind of where I want to go, and you guys are going to have a great opportunity. So it's a fantastic time to be kind of looking for those jobs because the market is so crazy. But fun facts for us, we just do a few things. We have popcorn machines on every single floor in our organization. We have ping pong tables. We eat way too much food. On that side, you'll see people, desks and areas get decorated with fun things for their birthdays. First Monday of the month is Donut Day. Get the hell out of the way at 8:01 on first Monday of the month because people are coming in hot for those donuts on that side. And then just, John Buer, who's our company president, does a good job of just making sure that the culture stays, because as you go from a 200-person organization to a 900-person organization, some changes happen, right? A lot of things will grow, a lot of things will be different, but we always tried to keep our culture in the forefront on that to be able to make sure that we keep that, because that's such a big part of what we do. And so this is just basically our culture book, and this is terrible to see for you guys, but this is basically just a timeline of where we've gone. So we moved into a new building in Fargo about 5 years ago. We've already tripled in size on that building. We've added onto it twice. We expanded into Brookings, South Dakota here 4 years ago. So we have the entire first floor of a building in the research park right in Brookings. So if you're driving up I-29, it's not the main Brookings exit, but the next one. As you're passing through there, you'll see us on the left side of the road going north on I-29. You'll see a little sign that says Discovery Benefits. We don't own the building, so they don't let us put signage on the building, which is a bummer. But we take up the whole first floor with opportunity to expand to the second floor, which is really, really cool. So we continue to grow that office as well. But it's kind of nuts to be able to see that. In 1987, just like any company, we started with 3 people. And it's really funny, one of the 3 original people in the organization, her name's Suzanne, she's still with us today. She's our compliance officer. She helped name the company. So she's seen a few changes in the years that she's been involved with us too. But it's been pretty cool to be able to be involved with a company that's grown so fast in these last couple years to be able to continually grow. So we like to talk about mission, vision, values, and core values and things like that. And I always like to show these just because core values are one of those things that I feel like as you guys are looking for jobs, these are the things that you want to know in organizations, right? And this is really hard to see for you guys. Maybe I should fix the lights a little bit. Lights, control panels, a lot going on. I'm not going to touch any buttons. But our core values are leadership, integrity, open communication, continuous learning, integrity, and teamwork. And those are things that we're really proud of. And you guys, as students, as you're continually going out and looking for jobs, I really highly suggest you look at the companies that are out there. Because again, it's a crazy labor market. You guys have a ton of opportunity to work where you think that you want to work or that you relate with. And so look at some of these things. Companies, we put these out there because we want you to see who we are and what we do. And if you find some of these core values or in the mission or the vision to be able to connect to, those are things that I think are going to make a big difference for you as you're getting employed. Is, you know, you want more than a job, right? That's anybody. You want a place that you can grow, a career you can advance some opportunities. And so finding some of those things within organizations. So we definitely like to put those out there on that side. And then you can also see the different ping pong, I guess, shots and or returns that happen quite a bit within the organization on that side. So these are just some quotes from our employees on what it's like to work at Discovery Benefits. I did forget to tell you that we have a slide. So if you want to take the slide from the second floor to the first floor, you can in the Fargo location. It's extremely fast. It's about 45-degree angle. So if you get in it, buckle up. We've had some people you hear like, ah, and then they're done. And then it's like there's this shocked look. Oh, perfect, thank you. On that side, hopefully people at home can still see us on that side. And you are right in the sunshine, which is perfect. Yeah. We do not have a slide at the Brookings location currently because we don't have the second floor. But if we move up to that second floor, there's going to be a loopy slide that goes outside. We already know where it's going to come out in the break room right next to the fireplace on that side. So we do try and have a lot of fun within our organization. I think it's one of those things where as a company and somebody who talks about our organization, like I know benefits administration is not sexy, right? I wasn't growing up and being like, whoo, I want to work with Cobra Benefits when I get out of school. That's like my lifelong dream, you know? But I did want a place to be able to go, and to be honest, I didn't even really know about these products or a company like this until I started kind of looking for jobs and getting a job there, which is kind of crazy. And my friend Jessica Sean, who is my cohort and VP of HR, she got a job there when there was just 2 people in human resources. And she's like, hey, you should come check out this company. It's really cool. And I was like, no, I like my job. I'm good. And she's like, no, you should come check it out. And I was like, no, I'm happy. She's like, come over and talk to us tomorrow. And I was like, okay, sounds good. I'll be there. And I went in and just completely fell for the culture and everything else. And a funny thing with that is when you go to a job interview, you kind of sit in the lobby. How many gone for a job interview, right? So you have that awkward like sitting time in the lobby where you're just kind of hanging out. And I was wearing a suit. And Discovery Benefits were jeans business casual as an organization. I always just like to wear shirt and tie. But so I'm sitting in the lobby, and this guy just walks through and he does like a, hey, are you here for a job interview? And I was like, what gave it away, you know, lonely guy sitting in the lobby in a suit. And I was like, yeah, you know, just coming in and talking. I told him who I was talking to and everything else. And he was like, hey, good luck, you know, have good luck. I hope it goes well. And he goes on his way, and I was like, well, that's a nice guy. He was passing through the lobby, telling me good luck. So I go in, I talk with Jessica, and I talk with Sandy, who's our senior VP of HR. I meet a couple other people. Things are going great. Conversation's great. I'm walking out of the building, and Sandy goes, hey, Curtis, I want to introduce you to John, the president of the company. And I walk in, and the dude that was like, hey, good luck on your job interview in the front office. And I was like, well, I thought, you were the guy out, wow, that's cool. So, I mean, from a cultural standpoint, we try and do things that, again, our CEO is not off limits or anything like that. So I think that's why you see some of these great quotes within the organization, because he really set that standard of the company on how we want it to be in the cultural side, and that's what we continue to do on that side. From an organizational standpoint, we continually try and push it a little bit too. And these will go through like some of the core values, and I can get into these too. But I should probably touch a little bit on what we're doing within our industry as you guys kind of look at opportunities and other things. So within Discovery Benefits, so we're a highly regulated industry, obviously. IRS, labor commissions, and then anybody heard of HIPAA, like patient privacy? Huge. We have millions and millions of patient information, social security numbers, everything within our company. So our information security team has really, really bulked up in the last couple years. We've gone from not kind of having it even, 5, 6, 7 years ago. I mean, there was some security there too, forefront of everything. You want to make sure that all that information is safe. So our IT side and our information security side has just absolutely blown up within our organization because it has to, right? Because of all that information that's out there, you have to take care of that information. You have to be able to make sure that you're protected on that side. So much so that one of my coworkers, it's so funny, we do like like security training, where you go through and don't click on these. If this email looks fishy, go through it. And like she came out of it and she's like, I'm not opening anything from anyone ever again. I live in fear constantly from this point forward. And you kind of joke about it, but it's kind of the case, right? So we continually have to go back and we have to review that every single year too. But she's so funny because just the other day, I sent her a link to an article, like a white paper article on human resources and talent. And she replied back, what is this? Is this safe? I was like, yes, I clicked on it and it's fine. She's like, I'm gonna report you to David, who's our VP of security. I'm like, it's okay, you can open it, it's just an article. But she lives in fear. But you almost have to put that fear a little bit in with employees, especially within an organization such as ourselves, because as you get bigger, you basically get that bullseye on your back, right? More and more people start knowing who you are and going after you. We're not Target. We're not a giant Marriott, we're not a hotel chain, but as we continue to grow, more and more people will know who we are and they'll start kind of going after us. So our security side has really increased on that side, and then as well as our application development. We have 26 application developers within our company, and it's pretty cool because they're kind of like I say if you could take that team and just put them on a desert island, they're like an internal startup within our company because they are developing new things within our company and within our industry. If you guys know anything about insurance and banking, it moves hella slow on the technology side. There's banks that are still taking applications via paper. And I'm like, I don't know how you staff. You expect people to walk into your building and fill out a form? I don't know how that works. But we're really proud of the fact that we try and push that a little bit. So our application development team, our internal team, actually is developing new technology, not only for our company, but our industry. So we were the first company to use an app within our industry, our first company to use that within our industry as an organization to be able to check your balance and everything else. Now it's just commonplace, right? And then we also designed some things internally from a software standpoint. Massive thing was if you use all of our products, we have a single sign-on across the board for all of the companies that work with us and for our employees that have us. If you have more than one product, obviously you want to see them in all one place. You don't want to log into 15 different spots. So that was huge. And then we developed what we call a Leap platform, which is for our employers to be able to see everything in one spot too. And the cool thing about Leap was it was kind of the first thing to that industry. And now we're able to actually kind of show that off to other companies and let them pick that up. So they're actually generating profit within the organization and from application development team, which is pretty cool within an organization. So we have a lot of that on that team too. And then obviously on the information technology side, or IT side, hardware, software within the building, they're really an internal team. But also too, I think we try and to quote one of our developers, we're maybe not bleeding edge, but we want to be cutting edge and pushing that a little bit. We want to make sure that we're in the front of what's going on, because I think the scariest sentence in business is that's how we've always done things. It'll kill you right off the bat, and especially in the technology side, you have to be pushing that more than anything to be able to do it. So we've seen teams develop around our IT side, our technology side, our software vendor side, completely come together and really start pushing that. And we have teams that weren't even there 3-4 years ago that are now 15 and 16, 20 people on the side. So it's cool to see how that continues to go on that end. Again, this is just with the presentation. This is a little bit more on the culture. That guy in the striped shirt, that gentleman up there, a good-looking guy back of his head, that's me reffing a kickball game. It was like 94 degrees that day, and outside in jeans, it was really ugly on that side. But again, these are core values. We'll go through them if you guys want to. But I told Deb and Janelle that I would be done at 12:30 from a general overview of the organization to more or less open it up for questions to you guys, because that's really how you find things out. If you want to know any more about the company, let me know. And again, I can go through these. This is our culture book. We have some of them up here too if you wanted to take one with you on that side. We're big into, this page reminds me of giving back to the community. So we just instituted something new within our organization, and the fact that we now give 16 full hours to our employees, paid hours, to go out and volunteer every single year. So 2 full days to go and find a cause that you're passionate about. That can be anything from helping with the United Way to Rape and Abuse Crisis Center. Some people really like For Love of Dog Rescue, things like that, to be able to give back. And our employees are really taking advantage of that, which is really fun to see. We also bring the dog rescue on site to Discovery Benefits every year. I've almost left work with a 3-legged pit bull. Had to call my wife. She had to talk me off a cliff. And I was like, I do not want this. Come on, look at this. On that side, but it's cool to be able to see our employees engage in that center on that side, and then go back into the community. But we do a lot with the United Way in both of our locations, Brookings and Fargo, to be able to help and give back. I kind of can cruise through these. Like I said, the core value side of it. But really, what I wanted to do was just come down here, be on campus, learn a little bit more about the student population here. Your Career Center has done an awesome job of just keeping me in touch as I've been down here a couple times. And this is a phenomenal turnout for you guys. You guys have no idea. I go to some college campuses and there's like one person hanging out and then they're mistakenly there for a presentation. Are you here for the presentation? No, I heard there was cookies. Cool, well, I'm gonna talk to you on that side. But I can't say enough about this organization in the fact that I actually left this company about 2 years ago, and I went to work for a startup. I went to work for a technology startup in Fargo, and they had never had human resources. And from my standpoint, I wanted to see if I could help another organization with the things that I'd learned in this organization to grow. Well, I was able to go there, get them up and running on what they needed to do. Thought it was going to be a 3 or 4 year process. Ended up being about a 1.5 to 2 year process, and came back to Discovery Benefits. And they're like, "Cool, come on back." And it's those kind of relationships, it's those kinds of things with the leadership in the organization that I just can't say enough of from that standpoint, especially being the boomerang employee who left and came back, which is pretty cool. And so they do stand by these core values. I'm not just blowing through them to blow through them. But wanted to give you guys a little bit of a taste of our organization. Halloween is a hot mess at our company. It's just so much fun. We had to actually scale it back a little bit. So we still open it up. We open it up every day, every year, Halloween or closest to Halloween. From 3 to 5, we open it up to people to go get kids, grandkids, whatever, people to come in. And we used to have each department decorate, and then these kids would come through, and it'd be hilarious because you'd be on the phone with like a client, and you're like, "Here's a Kit Kat," to like these kids that are trick-or-treating at your desk. And we've had customers and clients also be like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "Oh, sorry, we have kids here trick-or-treating for Halloween." They're like, "Oh, that's cool." But we had to move it like out of the actual, because there were so many people started coming because we continued to grow. We actually moved it into our like main lounge area now, where each section gets kind of decorated. But the kids still come through. This year for Christmas, we brought in a lot of different things, but we had live reindeer, which I'd never seen a reindeer that close on that side. It was to do that, and Santa and things like that, so the kids can come in as well. So we try and do things for our employees because we know how hard they work. And when you're in a job, typically you're in that job, you want to do a good job, right? Most people want to succeed at what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. So they put in the time, they put in the effort, and especially in our industry, we are crazy busy January, February, March. Kind of actually November, December, January, February, kind of the busy times because plans are ending. They're still selling new things. New plans start. 1/1 is a big start date for us with a lot of different things. So we see people run really hard, which is why we try and give back and why we try and do a lot of those other things. So that's why you see a lot of these different culture events around the organization and the pictures of these to be able to do that for our employees. So this is a quick shot of just the Fargo office on that side. So that's the main room right there with the big halo. Situation. The stairs right there, that's where the slide is. So you can see it's kind of like a 45-degree angle. Fun fact on the slides, this guy is putting this in, right? When we moved in this new building, we expanded. And so I'm like, I gotta talk to this guy. Like, what's your story, man? I was like, so you're putting in the slide. You do this often? He's like, yeah, it's what I do for a living. I was like, what? He goes, yeah, the company's based out of Atlanta. He travels around the United States putting in slides for businesses, schools, everything like that. I was like, you have the greatest job ever. You're bringing joy to hundreds of people every single day. And he's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. And he just goes back to work. And I was like, that guy, wow, unreal. So it was kind of crazy that we had to hire someone from Atlanta to put in a slide. I don't know, whatever. But I got to meet a really cool guy. And it is quite fast, like I said. But we do also do a lot with local colleges. Obviously, this is, we like Cobbers here, Fargo-Moorhead. We have Minnesota State University Moorhead, Concordia College, NDSU down here. Brookings, we have SDSU. We have you guys down here in Madison, Dakota State. We haven't done much in Sioux Falls or anything like that, but we love going out to college campuses and just telling our story, because most of the time, again, you guys would not have known who we are, what we do, because you're not using our products. We don't promote on TV, we don't promote on billboards or anything like that. So I'm just really grateful to you guys' Career Center. They've been awesome to let us come down and be a part of this. And you guys have a very, very engaged Career Center. I go to a lot of different schools, take advantage of what they're doing. They're doing good things for you guys. I love that you were all like, raise your hand. Who's coming to the handshake thing? Like all your hands go up. It's awesome to see students who want to do well, and you're in school to hopefully get that job, right? So use the resources that you have to be able to use that networking to be able to know what's out there, because there are a lot of really cool jobs out there with companies that you may have no idea exist. Like I said, we're a small 900-person, $100 million company that nobody knows about on that side. So I'm just happy to be able to come down here and talk a little bit more about us. So with that, I'll open it up to you guys. Any questions, thoughts? Comments on my outfit, anything? Yeah, I mean, I'll take anything from you guys. Yeah, here, I'm gonna give you this because we have people at home. I don't know how loud it is, watch yourself.
I was just hoping, could you go further into your fourth value, the continuous learning?
Yeah, definitely, yeah, good job. So continuous learning, so we are under the impression and we have a thought that you don't just stop learning, right? In any way, shape, or form. And so from an organizational standpoint, we continually try and push that. I think there's a saying, and it's like, oh, I just knew it was coming, I heard it. There's a quote out there, and it's like the CFO talking to the CEO is, you know, what if we what if we pay for a bunch of training for our employees and then they leave? And then the answer back is, well, what if we don't train them and they stay? Right? What's scarier? So you want to be able to continually give those things options for our employees. So we do a lot of different things. Internally, we offer certifications within our industry that you can get in and you can learn to do. External certifications, especially on like the information technology side and the security side, there's a lot of things out there. We will help sponsor those for individuals. In my world, so I am PHR, SHRM-CP certified on that side, which are like the CPA equivalent of the HR world. My company helped back me on that. And then we do different things internally. We have continuous education internally on different topics. Everything from emotional intelligence to specifics within your department. Because our big thing is, we also have a 360-degree leadership mentality, which means you can lead from anywhere, right? You can lead up to your boss, you can lead across on your team, you can lead down and out to other parts of the organization. And leadership is one of those things that has a lot of different meanings. You can be the vocal leader, you can be the person that rallies the troops or gets them wound up. You can also be the subject matter expert, right? You can be the one that everybody's like, I gotta go to Curtis because I know he knows his stuff. You can lead that way too. And so we try and continually offer things internally that are gonna help our employees become those. We have an internal leadership program that we offer to employees. It's a 12-week leadership program and actually just opened up. It's applications. We don't allow every single person to take it. You have to apply. It's a 12-week class. We do everything from, again, emotional intelligence to crucial conversations. Most things that you can use that aren't specific to your role, they're more just leadership in general. And it's a 12-week program. You go through it, you graduate. We have a full-on graduation. And then my favorite part about the program is 6 months later, we bring that class back and we're like, okay, what are you using, what you learned? Because anybody can go to a seminar, anybody can go to a talk and be like, great information, cool, and leave and don't do anything with it, right? It's what you take from those things and implement into your day-to-day that really makes a difference. So we like to bring those classes, the graduation classes back and open it up to see what's going on. And you see people that move into supervisor roles. You see people that move into team lead roles. You see people that will just move up on their team, go into a different part of the organization. Maybe it's a lateral move to do something different, but then they start leading over there too. So it's really cool to be able to do that, and you have to do that with your employees, because if you stay stagnant, it's just, it doesn't help anybody. Again, it's that thing. This is how we've always done it, or if you stand still, you're already behind on that. So we continually try to do that internally. And then we offer off-site things too. You know, a lot of local chambers will have speaking events. We just sponsored the Women in Leadership and Learning event in Brookings. It was a full day event, which is really cool to be. I got to be the only male like in a room, which was really awesome. To be able to, bathroom line was super short. It was awesome. But it was really cool to be able to be in a room and just see all these people getting better at what they do on a day-to-day basis, and especially from a female leadership side, because 56% of our organization with titles VP and up are female within the organization, and we're 60-40 female to male within our organization too. So it's really cool to be able to sponsor some of those events, help that leadership side, and continually help them get better at what they do. So, other questions? Yes, you have to use the mic. I can run. That's all right. Get my steps in.
So the vast majority of students here are probably either cyber ops or computer science, I imagine. So how would we fit into this company?
Yeah, definitely. Again, we have the security side specifically is continually growing in our organization. We're offering more and more positions there. We just opened an internship on that side this year for the first time, which is good. We hired David, who is supposed to be here today. He's our VP of security. He had to actually go to Mankato today. But he is continually trying to push that a little bit too. He started in August. He came from Target and like Disney Corporations, ESPN, so he's got a lot of crazy awesome background. But I think he's even continually pushing that too, and so that team is slowly growing within our organization too. I think we have a room right now of about 6 employees on the security side. On that, again, our app development team is about 26, and then we have just an IT overall, super visual, sorry, I'm like counting their desks, which is probably like 15 or 16. And I think as an organization, when you grow, you have to continually push that side. So we'll see new jobs kind of develop within those areas specifically. And I think too, now that David's come on, he really wants to hone in on some specific certifications and some other things. You know, we have different audits that we've come through. We brought in an external company to come in and try and hack our system, which is really, really fun to see. It's really crazy. They're like, they set up in our main room with like a bunch of laptops and like put like antenna up to see if anybody would say anything, you know, because they're like somebody's trying to hack the system. And somebody eventually said something, which is good. But then a guy in our creative team took out his Mac computer and had his hood up. And he instantly got called in, like, who's this guy? What's he doing on this Mac computer? We don't have Macs here. And I was like, there were 4 people with like 7 laptops out, like putting a fake sting, and you're mad at Tucker because he's got a Mac. So I was like, is something wrong here, people? You know? So it's kind of crazy. But when they came in and did that, we actually finished in the top 3% of all companies that they've ever reviewed from a security standpoint. So it was really, really cool to be able to see that our team is doing what they need to do and continually have to continue to push that. Because again, you got to stay in front of everything. So I think you'll just continually see that continue to grow within our organization. Yeah, good question though. Is there another one? Way up top, check this out. Run my stairs. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. There we go. Cool.
So what are all the internship like opportunities that you have for like the cyber field? Like, you know, I understand like system development, system analysis, information system management, so on and so forth. So like, what are like all the opportunities that we can actually push for? Yep, absolutely, perfect. So we just, like I said, opened the one on the security side. So this is gonna be the first time we have an intern on our security side with David. We do have application development. So from that side, we have 3 over there. And then I think from our standpoint, the nice thing about our organization is we have to continually branch out. We have to continually add things. And what you want to do from an internship standpoint is you want to make sure, number one, there's work, right? And interesting work. Nobody wants an internship that's just like putting numbers into Excel. Nobody wants that. It's not good for anybody, right? And so you want to make sure that you're having a positive experience for both the intern coming in and the company. And so I think from that standpoint, we're doing this one currently from an internship, especially on the security side. We don't know what's going to happen. It's the first one we've done as we come through. So I think as that develops, we'll do this first one, see where it goes, see what happens, and then I think you'll see things come down the line. From an organizational standpoint, like the best thing to do is just be in touch with your career center, be in touch with just Discovery Benefits website. That's where we put things to keep an eye out on it. So from an organizational standpoint, we are really pushing our internship program more this year. Actually, one of our internal talent acquisition specialists, Katie, kind of revamped it and did everything. So we currently have the most
interns that we've had within the organization, which is great because you really want to push for it. And they're hopefully going to be quality internships, right? Again, you want to make sure that there is work for the intern, that they're going to learn something, as well as learn about our organization too. Because that's really what you want to do, is open the eyes to the individual coming in to be able to see what this company does, what they do, their culture, their feel, and then selfishly from a company standpoint, really, really like it and want to stay on full time. I mean, that's really the goal. So from an internship standpoint, gaining them the experience, but then hopefully picking up a full-time employee in the future. So from the security side, I think, we have the one currently. We'll see more. I wish I had a better answer for you on that, but that department is still driving a little bit too. And they may find out that there's a lot of stuff out there that they could do with the intern that will help more too, so they maybe add one on that side. But they work hand in hand. We treat them as a full-time employee. They come in, they get onboarded exactly the same as any other person. They go through all the training. They have the terrifying security presentation. It was funny, we actually just started some interns on Monday, and he came back the second day. His name is Franz, and he's like, I had to tell you, man, I had a nightmare. I was like, oh, good or bad? That's not what you want to hear from an intern, like on their second day. I was like, what does that mean? And he's like, so I had a dream that I took my laptop home, and I was just watching movies or streaming, and somebody sent me like one of those urgent emails, like your bill's overdue. He said I clicked on it, and it was a virus, and I had to, and it got in the system, and I had to come back here, and I had to take my laptop, and I had to go to the CEO's office, and I had to apologize and tell him I'm so sorry for letting this in. And I was like, it's cool, it didn't happen. Let's breathe. Day 2, nothing's wrong, you're not breaking anything. But I told that to my coworker who put on the training. She's like, that's a successful training. You send him home, make him have nightmares of what we just talked about? I got to him, yeah. But it was really funny to see him, and I was like, it's okay. And then later in the day, I introduced him to John, our CEO, and like his eyes just got really big. You could see he was still like thinking about it, and he was like, hey. And I was like, Franz, it's okay. I could just tell from his body language. I was like, you didn't infect anything. It's okay. There was a dream. We're fine. And John's laughing at him. It's like, oh, poor kid. So we did have a group that just started on Monday, which is cool, and we'll see where they kind of fit into the mix too. Yeah. Whoa. Make it official here with this guy.
Thank you.
There you go. Yeah.
So what is your company looking for in prospective interns?
Yay! Great question. So what we look for. So basically within our company, we know that typically you're not going to have any industry knowledge, right? You probably don't have any expertise in human health savings accounts, flexible spending accounts, Cobra Insurance, anything of the products that we offer. But you're going to school for information security, IT, application development, anything like that. Well, what we really look for is we look for people who are going to fit our core values. I went through those a little bit and walked through them because we can teach you the information, right? You can be taught what we do as a company. You can be taught the processes and procedures that we have. You can be taught our industry standard. We can't teach work ethic. We can't teach grit. We can't teach the ability for an individual to want to do a good job. We can't teach teamwork. We can't teach communication for the most part, right? I mean, you can do some classes on it and things like that. But those are the things that we're really looking for. People that are going to really embody our core values. Again, leadership, open communication, continuous education, integrity, teamwork. We want them to really be involved in those and show that. I always say our industry is almost like learning a foreign language. Until you get immersed into it, that's when you really start learning it. So I joke with new hires, it's like, hey, I understand you don't speak Portuguese right now. Give it like 2 weeks, you'll be fluent, right? On that side, because you're just immersed in it. But those are the things that we look for. And those are the things that you want from an employee. Again, ability to critically think through a situation, solve a problem. That's what you will see a lot of times as you're getting into those jobs, getting to those roles, is you come in as an intern, you come in as a full-time employee. We need to solve this problem. Here you go. I don't care how you get there, but that's what we need to solve. And that's what a lot of the internships will probably be too, because you guys will get in on those. You'll have some sort of project. You'll have some sort of problem that's there to be able to be solved. How you get to that problem, how you solve that problem, again, shows a lot of what we're looking for in our employees. So those are just some of the little things. Critical thinking is huge, communication is huge, teamwork, because I don't care what anybody says, you don't do anything just by yourself in a company, unless you're an entrepreneur. It typically starts with you. But those are the things that we look for, and it all like ties back to our core values for the most part too. But I do a lot of things with workshops with students and things as well, and that was one of the most interesting answers I got to the question, why should we hire you? Was I had a student say, I have grit. And I was like, okay, elaborate on that. What's that mean to you? And he said, I'll get knocked down, I'll get back up. I may get something wrong, but I'll get back up and be able to solve it. I'll take, nobody can keep me from accomplishing what I need to accomplish. That was actually one of the best answers I ever heard to that question. Why should we hire you? Because again, that's something you can't teach. That's innate within that individual. And it depends on their upbringing, their circumstances, who they are, where they've been. And again, like I said, we can teach you the information about the company. We can't teach some of those innate abilities too. So, all right, it's 10:02. I want to make sure you guys get to your next class. But if you don't have class or anything else, I'm going to hang out for a little bit. As long as I'm on the road by 2, since this ground blizzard is supposed to come. I don't know if you guys know about it, but I have a very important appointment tomorrow. I have the day off. I'm getting a tattoo, so I need to make sure I'm there. It's very important, very, 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 very important on that. And so I need to get home, on that. But again, thank you guys to your Career Center. Janelle and Deb have been awesome with me. I'm hopefully going to be down here on campus more, just hanging out. So if you guys ever hear that we're coming down, come back, say hi, see what's going on within the organization, swing by the Career Center. I don't know if we'll do this again. This was kind of a formal presentation. But I appreciate just being able to come down, have the opportunity to talk to you guys, and thank you guys for coming. So cool. Thanks.